There's a saying that goes, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. This is certainly true in eating disorder recovery, where painful emotions are a necessary part of the beginning of any recovery journey. Distress tolerance skills can be the difference between painful emotions and suffering. These are skills that you'll reach to over and over at the beginning of your recovery to make those emotions a little bit more bearable. So Maris, we teach so many different skills to help in recovery here at Equip, and I'm wondering if you can talk about when distress tolerance skills are most helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say overall, when emotions are at a 8, 9, 10 out of 10 intensity, that's a really good sign that a distress tolerance skill could be really helpful. I would also say earlier on in treatment, since these are skills that are helpful in those initial moments, but we eventually want to shift away from. And then I would finally say that any time where there's not much you can do in the moment to drastically change the situation, you're more looking to tolerate and get through it.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Like, I think about distress tolerance skills as being for those crisis moments where you maybe don't have a lot of control over the circumstances, and maybe you even feel like you don't have a lot of control over your emotions. And they're really meant to help you ride out kind of those peak worst moments so that you don't do anything to kind of make the situation worse, right? Like acting on an eating disorder behavior or another urge. I'm wondering where this showed up in your recovery. Can you give me some examples of when you really relied on distress tolerance skills?
Yeah, definitely. Early on when everything was brand new, it was the first time that we were really facing the eating disorder head on. There were a lot of intense urges to, like you said, make the situation worse, whether that was something like engaging in self-harm or yelling at my parents, anything that raised the intensity of the situation. That was a pretty good time for distress tolerance skills to come in and prevent the situation from heading in that direction.
Yeah. So we have lots of different types of distress tolerance, right? We can distract, we can self-soothe, we can do things to kind of temporarily improve the moment or kind of soften the edges. Can you tell me what some of your favorite distress tolerance skills were?
I would say the tip skill when it's appropriate and modified appropriately for eating disorder recovery is one that can just really break through when nothing else can. That's the skill that I tend to go to.
So my next question to you is, if distress is such a big part of like early recovery, doesn't that maybe mean that recovery is not working? Like, is that distress a good thing?
In short, I think it is. I think it's a really good sign that we're making the eating disorder uncomfortable enough that we're starting to break it down. And often it was actually a really good almost compass in my recovery. If this is making me uncomfortable, it's probably something I should be doing because it's making the eating disorder uncomfortable.
Yeah, I really like that. Change is hard. And so if recovery feels easy, then we're probably not doing it right. But distress tolerance skills can really help to take the edge off so that that super hard, super difficult thing is at least more manageable.
Yeah, definitely.